Right. So I'm not usually one to make NBA breakdown videos or anything like along those lines, or really to make those, because I'm struggling. I'm trying to become a good YouTuber. I've grinded, and I only get views if I make a video before someone else that's gonna get looked up, or if it's just like not really searched up yet, and I'm like one of the first people to do it. That's basically the only way I get views, right? So I'm not one to make breakdown videos. I love the NBA, and I know like everything about it. I'm like an analyst type of guy. I love the NBA, but it wouldn't get me views, so there's no point in making videos like that. I've tried before, and they've gotten a little bit of views, but like over time, it's just not really good for me. But I would love making them and talking about it, and just that would be great if I had an actual fan base to do it with. Now, I did feel the need to make a video about this game right here. Real quick, I do just want to shout out some stuff, because like I rushed this video a lot to get it out for some reason, and I didn't point out everything I wanted to talk about. But from the get-go, Jrue Holiday, you could tell not only was he hitting some difficult shots, but he wasn't taking some of the shots that people would get mad at him for. Like, his problem for like the past two series and mainly these finals has been his shot making. Like, he just shot like 4 for 20 a game ago, and it's just been a little struggle for him. And he still forces some stuff, but this game you could tell sometimes it'd be like, oh no, Jrue, like, don't take that, but then he wouldn't take it, and he would drive or kick out or something, and it was just like, he played amazing. DeAndre Ayton had another kind of no-show game, didn't really do much, just like the last game. Devin Booker had another 40-point game, but he literally was just hitting every shot. Like, it was another game where he was just hitting some crazy shots. I remember distinctively like some crazy rainbow shot sometime at the beginning of the game. He also hit the 3 at the end to cut it to 3. Same with Chris Paul, clutch 3 at the very end. Another cool moment was at the beginning of the game, Devin Booker got like an and one dunk that they didn't call. They waved off because there was a foul earlier in the play, and Devin Booker flexed on Giannis, and I remember pointing it out to the people next to me, because it kind of pissed me off a little bit. Not only because I love Giannis, but like Giannis was just doing the right thing, tried to tackle him, and Devin Booker flexed on him. And basketball, obviously, I would love that. I'm just biased, but yeah, like. And then later on in the game, Giannis got that and one dunk at the very end with like 10 seconds left. But yeah, just to point that stuff out. This game between the Bucks and the Suns was just incredible. I don't have many words to explain it, other than like, I am very happy that I'm watching this NBA Finals, and I'm happy that I'm witnessing this series that's going on right now. Okay, so since it just happened, I do kind of have to bring up what the last play was. And since it was one of the last things I saw, it's on my mind, so I do have to talk about it right now. But that last play where Jrue Holiday just absolutely babied Devin Booker, took it from him, went down the court and lobbed it to Giannis, and he got the and one, was just absolutely insane. And I mean this when I say it right now, that play is going to go down like very, very historical, especially if the Bucks win the series. Basically like when LeBron blocked Iguodala, and it might not be game 7 or like just to clinch a 3-1 comeback or as legacy or anything, but it's a game in the finals where if the Bucks lose this game, they go down 3-2, and that's a horrible position to be at, especially the Suns having home court advantage for the game 7. So if that doesn't happen, there's a chance that none of like the Bucks winning the chip this year happens. And I mean, it still couldn't happen, but it's very, very likely. I mean, I've been rooting for the Bucks this entire playoffs because I just love Giannis like a lot. I love the guy. He just seems like a great guy. I respect him a lot. I've always liked Jrue Holiday. He's one of the type of players I like for example, like Marcus Smart, even Juan Toscano-Anderson on the Warriors, one of my favorite players. I like Pat Connaughton a lot. Chris Middleton turns into Michael Jordan sometimes. All in all, I love the Bucks, and I do figure they're going to win the series. I did predict them to win in 6, and I mean, that's still possible, but I think they win in 7. Honestly, maybe 6 now, because the Bucks are at home, and I don't see them really losing at home. I haven't stood up and screamed and clapped really hard at an NBA game in a very long time, because I am a Warriors fan, and honestly, in the play-ins was probably the last time I have. But other than that, like some of the Clippers series, because I root for the Clippers, because, you know, like I don't know why. I feel like everyone hates the Clippers, but I always liked them. The Bucks I root for, and obviously the Warriors, but I live in Indiana, so I like the Pacers. But those are basically like the 4 teams I've been rooting for the most. And I don't know what to say other than Giannis. If the Bucks win this series, Giannis could go down as a top power forward of all time, and by top I mean top 3. He's debatably already better than Karl Malone. He can go down as better than Karl Malone. His accolades are already better than Karl Malone, except for like points, because obviously Karl Malone's like 2nd in points ever. I think 3rd actually now. I think LeBron passed him, but I could be wrong. But Karl Malone, and then Tim Duncan is like locked in for number 1 for a long time, if that could like almost ever change. But Tim Duncan, and then Dirk is up there too, and KG. But I think KG, we can agree, is worse than Giannis, maybe. But yeah, Giannis, this playoffs is very important for Giannis. And it's not just Giannis. There's 5 players in this series that this last finals is so important for, and that's Drew Holiday, Khris Middleton, Giannis, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul. Now, obviously, Chris Paul could add a ring to his legacy, even a Finals MVP maybe. It's looking like Devin Booker would be the Finals MVP if the Suns won, but Devin Booker at 24 years old, which really makes me respect him a lot more. I didn't realize this until like earlier today. Devin Booker's still only 24 years old. I know when he dropped 70, we've always talked about how young he is and stuff, but he's still only 24 years old, and I didn't really see it that way because I think Chris Paul's already made him seem like a better leader and really helped him out a lot. And it's just weird to think about. He's literally 24, and I'm pretty sure Giannis is like 26 or 25. But it's really important for them. And then on the Bucks side, Khris Middleton's always been a second option, but he's never seemed like the big guy, or like he's never seemed like that guy, right? And he's really proving at these playoffs. He had like 42 points, I think, maybe 40. I think it was 40 on the dot in Game 4. And he's been clutch down the stretch. He's turned into Michael Jordan with like 5 minutes left in every quarter this entire playoff series. And Devin Booker dropped 40 again. So I think that's 2 40-point games in a row for Devin Booker. So that's going to be insane for his legacy too. So, I mean, this playoff series has just been incredible. The big 3 tonight did like everything. Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Khris Middleton all did good tonight. Drew Holiday finally had a game where he shot real well. And I believed in the Bucks this entire game. At the beginning, it just felt like something was off. In my opinion, the refs were like insanely bad in the first quarter against the Bucks. And, you know, that could be a little biased because I'm rooting for the Bucks, but I mean, it seemed like they were calling little ticky-tack stuff and not calling stuff for the Bucks. And then Giannis got a good block. They called it a goaltend. It just seemed a little off. And, like, even from the first play, like, Brook Lopez tried to pass out, and it looked like he got really fouled on the arm, but they called it travel. He did travel, but it did look like he got fouled. But the Suns were up 16 in the first quarter, and I called my dad about it and was telling him because I was home alone, you know, watching the game. Well, I had a few people over, but basically they were down 16. And I was talking to my father about it, and I was telling him, like, hey, if you want to bet money on this game, bet on the Bucks. Like, I don't know why, but I'm just so confident in them. They just seemed off in that first quarter, and all of a sudden, I'm on the phone with them, and I come back downstairs, and it's like a 5-point game, then a 3-point game. It's 50-47 or something like that. Like, it was just crazy. They came back just like that, and that's just... I feel like people still underlook this Bucks team because they barely beat unhealthy Nets team, and they've choked the last few years, and Giannis hasn't really been able to do much in the playoffs, but this series completely destroyed that narrative, and he just had 30-something again, so he's going to get a Finals MVP most likely. They're going to win. And one thing that the Bucks have been doing that I give them an insane amount of credit for, and definitely some credit to Coach Bud for this, because he's been getting hate all playoffs, and I mean, I can't really defend him too much. Obviously, the Brook Lopez matchup, it just seems like he's not really working for the team too much because on the defensive end. And I'm somebody that super likes Brook Lopez. Like, I support him a lot. Like, some people call him buns around me, and I just defend him like crazy because he's been doing really good on offense. And it's just they're targeting on defense, obviously. Like, I don't want to sound smart because I'm not for that. That's just an obvious take. But, like, it's just... It just sucks for them sometimes, and Coach Bud's been getting a lot of hate for that. They did get their stuff together this game and played just great. But again, back to what my first point was, credit to Coach Bud putting Drew Holiday basically face guarding Chris Paul the entire game. Sometimes when he's in, they're pressuring him full court, just wearing him out like every game, and it definitely seems to be showing. And some of that I definitely think has to do with the fact that Chris Paul is like 36 years old. And it just seems like it's wearing him down a little bit. He's not hitting the same shots. He don't look like he has the same energy. He had 5 turnovers last game. I don't know if he had many turnovers this game, but you can definitely tell he's a little worn out from that, and they just need to keep doing that because it's truly working. One player that I do want to give a lot of credit to, and not just because I like him a lot, but Pat Connaughton might be a top 5 role player in the league. And by role player, I don't mean like, I don't even know if I'd consider, like, I definitely wouldn't consider Drew Holiday a role player. He's definitely a key to the team. I'd say like the lowest before you get to a role player maybe is like, I don't know, Marcus Morris maybe. I don't know if I consider him a role player. I mean, like, obviously first glance you would easily just say he's like a really good role player, but I mean, because I like Marcus Morris a lot, even though people hate him because of his attitude and stuff, but I like him a lot, and you know, he's really good for the Clippers. And I don't know, I think that's like the point where I'd classify barely not a role player because he is really key to that team. But like, as far as role player goes, I think Pat Connaughton, by my like description of it, is a top 5 role player, and it's just been crazy to see him like literally just dominate. And like with DiVincenzo injured and Pat Connaughton just hitting every three he takes in these playoffs for the Bucks has just been great to watch, and I do enjoy it a lot. He has like a really nice form, nothing but net every single time, and I don't know why, but I just love watching him shoot it, especially since he can usually shoot over people. And again, big props to Giannis. Might go down as one of the best power forwards of all time, but this is a series, and basically I saw a post by one of the people I watch the most, who basically inspires me to make these type of videos, Funky Diabetic, saying like the Bucks can actually win this, it was weird to read the title because I've been putting my money on the Bucks these entire playoffs. Even like I thought the Bucks would beat the Nets before I knew Kyrie got injured, and obviously now we know that probably wouldn't have happened, but like even before the playoffs, I thought the Bucks would win it all this year, and I thought the Clippers would play them. And as we know, like the Clippers would be in the finals if Kawhi was healthy. But yeah, that's all I had to say this video. It's not like the most entertaining or anything, but it's just some basketball talk if you are into the NBA a lot. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe if you want more of these. Comment, like, anything you want. I'm sorry for not uploading today or any My Team or anything. I was really just busy the whole day, and I'll make sure I stay on my grind more than this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.